Alright, so this is the Unit 2, Section 2 homework. This is the third page, 17 through 24. So now, if you read the directions, we have a function in the range, which range is y. Find the domain, or x values. So it's just the exact opposite as the first two pages. Okay. Now I will say that given the range and having to find domain is more difficult for sure, because I'm having to work backwards, but it's still possible. So I will show you. There are I'm trying to think, there's probably the easiest way, or the two easiest ways. I'll show you those. There's more than that, but there's no point in showing you the hard ways, right? That's going to take too long. You don't want to do that. So I'll show you the two easiest ways. Okay, the first one is with the calculator, which sometimes isn't always the easiest way, because depending on the numbers they give you, it might take you a long time to find the right answers, but it's still easier than a lot of the other ways. Okay, so I will do exactly what I did before. Anything without a fraction, I will try and do by hand. Anything with a fraction, I will show you in the calculator. That way you see both ways, and then you can pick which way is easier for you. Okay, so the first thing, since these are going to take a little bit longer, you just have to do one thing before you can plug these in, is notice I have y, so I have this side of the equation right here. I'm looking for x. That's what I'm missing, okay? So it's not just as simple as plugging in y and then I'm done, right? You could plug in y, or the number for y, each time and then solve for x each time. That is one possible way. That just takes a long time for some of these, depending on the equation. And if that's easiest for you, then do that. To me, I would prefer, just because it would be easier to plug in later, is if you solve for x first, right? So I'm going to solve for x. I want x equals everything. Then I can just plug in y, and then it's much easier to type in, okay? So think of this as a literal equation. I know y'all hated those so much, but it's okay. This may help. Okay, so let's see. If I have y equals x plus 4. If I want to solve for x, I have to get rid of plus 4, which means I move plus 4 to the other side of my equation, and then I get y minus 4 equals x. Okay? Now I have x by itself, and y has all the numbers with it. I can plug in each y value into here, and then I simply subtract 4 and I have x. To me, that's a lot easier to do than a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to do that, okay? So I'm just going to write it down here, even though it'd be nice to be next to the number. That's okay. So instead of y, I'm going to do the same thing that I did before. I plug in the numbers into y, and I use parentheses to show where I put it. So instead of y, I'm going to use all these numbers right here. So I'm going to have parentheses 21 minus 4, and then parentheses 24 minus 4, parentheses 27 minus 4, and parentheses 30 minus 4. Okay? Now notice this will give me x, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for domain. So now this one's very simple to do. 21 minus 4 is 17. 24 minus 4 is 20. 27 minus 4 is 23. And 30 minus 4 is 26. Now to fill in my table, right, I just put these numbers over here. They're already in order. And I'm done. So it's again a little bit more than what we did before, because I have to solve for x first. But once you do that, then it's the same. You're just plugging in a number, okay? Okay, now this one has a fraction, so I will show you the calculator. Now, you can do this. You can still like solve for x over here like we did, and then plug this into y equals, and it would be backwards. I mean, I don't know if you want to do that. Again, there's a lot of ways to do these. I'm just trying to figure out the easiest ones. But if I don't want to mess with the equation, so say it's something like this. Oh no, that's blurry. So if I don't want to mess with my equation, I want to leave it the same. That way I'm less likely to make a mistake when I'm solving for x, right? Because I know some of y'all might worry, oh, I would mess up just getting x by itself, and then my answers are all going to be wrong. I don't want to do that. I get that, right? That makes sense. And there we go. So if you want to not change the equation, you don't have to. I'm going to type in my equation just like I did. So 3 over 4x minus 2. Okay, this equation looks just like this one. And then I still go to second graph. Now here's the part that might take some time depending on your numbers. Now this table looks just like this table, right? Okay, put them right next to each other. Now here's the tricky part. I have to find these numbers on the right over here on the right, and then write the x that goes with it. That's not always easy to do, because look, my first number is negative 14. So if I look over here, I'm only at negative 2. I got to go to negative 14. So I'm having to go all the way up. Oh, look. So I found negative 14. Right, that's what I want. And there we go. So now to get x, it's the x that's right next to it, negative 16. Okay. Now, if this way is easier for you, and you just want to do it this way, that's totally fine. You can do this on every problem. Now I want to find negative 11. Okay. Negative 11 right here is the x is negative 12. I go down, find 7. And remember, I'm looking on the right for 7. Okay. Don't look on the left. So your table should match. Okay, here's 7 right here. I don't know why this keeps doing that. So 7, x is 12. And then I want 13. 13 is 20. Okay. So again, that is another option you have to solving these. Totally works. This one has work to show where I can see what I did, so if I mess up, I know why. Over here, if you mess up, I could probably figure out or take a guess as to why you would have gotten the wrong answers, but it'd be a lot harder for me to help you fix whatever it is that you did wrong. So you should be very careful in typing these in if you do that. Okay. So over here, I'm going to go ahead and solve this by hand and then plug them in. So I have y equals 3x. Okay, if I want to solve for x, all I do is divide by 3. Okay. So y over 3, you can leave it as y over 3. Let's just do that. So y divided by 3 equals x. So really all I have to do is divide each of these y numbers by 3, and I have my x values that I'm looking for. Okay, so I have negative 18 over 3, and because these are fractions, these are going to be a little spaced out differently. 0 over 3, 33 over 3, and 51 over 3. Okay. Now, some of these you probably know, like the 0 over 3. Oh, I know that's 0, so let's go ahead and put that one right there. 33 over 3, oh, I know that's 11, so I can do that. Negative 18 over 3, well, 18 over 3 is 6, and that's just negative, right? So I can do that. And 51 over 3, you may need to do in a calculator. I know that it's 17. Okay, so that's 17. And look, doing it by hand, again, that didn't take very long. That one, like I said, this one right here, because it's just 3x, it probably would have taken me a lot longer to find those numbers in the table in the calculator. I'd be scrolling up and down, right? So depending on the question, it might be faster to do it by hand. It might be faster to do it in the calculator. It just depends. All right, 20. Let's do that in the calculator. Okay, that way you can at least see me do it more than one time, because sometimes if this is what you want to do, this is how you do it. So I have negative 3 over 2x plus 2. All right, second graph. And again, I'm looking for these values, the y on here, on the right side. So my first one I want is 20. Look, I'm at negative 19. I got a long way to go. Now you can go backwards on the table. There's no real specific order you have to go in. Oh, I just passed it, didn't I? Okay. I always go from top to bottom because once you find the first number on here, then it's just going down to find the rest of them. So it's just doing it the same way every time makes it a little easier. Okay. So I found 20, and that is negative 12. Now I want to find 11. And that is negative 6. I find negative 16. Okay, I go a little bit down here. Is 12. And negative 31, 22. But look at that, I'm done. I didn't have to write anything down. I didn't have to work anything out. But you still do, you have to know how to do this correctly on the calculator or you'll get the wrong answer anyway. So just be careful. All right, 21, I'm going to solve. So I have y equals negative x plus 1. Okay, if I want x, that means I'm going to move the 1 over here. So I have y plus 1 equals negative x. And because I have negative x, I'm going to flip all my signs. So I have negative y minus 1 equals x. Wow, I almost wrote plus. All right, I got close. Okay, that means I need to replace this y. Okay, so I want to replace this y with these four numbers to get x, whatever x is for each one. Okay, so I have negative parentheses instead of y. So I'm replacing y. I got 21 minus 1, negative parentheses 14 minus 1, negative parentheses negative 17 minus 1, and negative parentheses negative 28 minus 1. Okay, now because there's a lot of negatives in here, I'm going to go ahead and type it in just to show y'all. Again, it's not really a bad idea to check your work because it's very easy to make little mistakes, as some of y'all found out on the test that we did. A lot of the problems weren't, you didn't understand how to do the problem at all. It was you did the problem, the steps right, but you added wrong, you multiplied wrong, or you forgot to multiply at all, or you forgot two negatives make a positive. It's little stuff, right? So because little mistakes are common and they're easy and you don't notice them when you do them, the calculator doesn't hurt. And I was trying to wait for the video to not be blurry, but that didn't work either. All right. Okay. So I'm going to type these in. So I have negative parentheses 21 minus, parentheses minus 1, not 4, 1. Okay. So my first one is negative 22. Negative parentheses 14 minus 1 is negative 15. Negative parentheses negative 17 minus 1, 16. Oh no, what did I do? Oh, I put an extra parentheses. My fault. And then negative parentheses negative 28 minus 1 is 27. Oh, did I do it again? What the heck keeps happening? All right, 27. All right, once I have my answers right here, all I do is copy these four numbers into this nice table. That way I have completed my table correctly, and I'm good to go. Look at that, done. And we got 3 more. Okay, this one is all calculator. Let's hope that it doesn't take too long to find these. So I'm going to type this in. 1 minus 1 over 3x. All right. Okay, it looks the same, so I do second graph. And now I need to find, I'm going to start with 10. So remember, I'm looking at the right side. There's 4. Oh my gosh. 7, 8, 9. Oh, there we go. 10 is negative 27. Now I need 7. So let's go back. Oh, negative 18. Negative 8. Now I go way down. I'm looking on the right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Negative 8 is 27. And negative 11 is 36. So it doesn't take, oh wow, there's a glare. It doesn't take too long sometimes, as long as, I mean, the more you practice these, the faster you get, even if you do them all on the calculator like that. Okay. All right, this one I'm gonna solve, let's see. I got y equals, I'm gonna try and write a little smaller on this one just because I don't have a lot of room. So I want to solve for x, I gotta move plus 3 over here. So I got minus 3 equals negative 4x. And to get x by itself, I divide everything by negative 4. Okay. Look, I'm just to make it easier, I'm gonna keep it the same way. Okay. So I have y over negative 4 minus 3 over negative 4. Honestly, you can keep it that way. The calculator will do it for you. It'll fix it. It'll do it correctly. Okay, so if you don't want to mess it up or don't want to mess with it, leave it alone, that's fine. I still need to replace y with all of these y values. So I'm going to go ahead and write it out so you see what I'm doing. So instead of y, I have parentheses 55, okay, over negative 4, and then minus 3 over negative 4. So I can type it in just like that. All right, and it'll do it for me, which is pretty nice. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a negative on the bottom. Okay, now do the same thing. Parentheses 35 over negative 4 minus 3 over negative 4. Maybe I might run out of room, I don't know. Parentheses, now I have negative 45 over negative 4 minus 3 over negative 4. I might write that one down there. And my last one, negative 101 over negative 4 minus 3 over negative 4. Okay, this one you may just want to do the table on, but that's okay. I'm going to work it out just to get my skills, keep my skills up, right? Oh, I don't want to use that. I'm just going to type these in. So I have fraction 55 over negative 4 minus 3 over negative 4. And look at that. Just like I said, it will do the math for me. That's great. Now, here's a cool trick on the calculator. Notice how I'm typing in the same thing 4 times. I'm just changing the one number. On a calculator, if you have one of these, once you type it in once, I can hit second enter. And look, it types in all the same stuff. I just have to go all the way back over and change 55 to 35. Enter. Just saves a little bit of time. Second enter. Now I can go back. I want to change 35 to negative 45. So negative 45. Okay. Enter. 12. Oh my gosh. I'm going to write this down here. And second enter. Okay. Go all the way over. I want to change negative 45 to negative 101. And that's 26. Okay. Okay, so I got my 4 numbers. Now I can write them in my table. So I have negative 13, negative 8, 12, and 26. Okay. So again, I showed my work, but you can do the table if that's not your thing. You don't want to do that. That's fine. All right, look, last one on this page. I'm excited because we can do it in here. I mean, you can do all these in here if you want. But if you don't have one, you need to know how to do it a different way. So y equals, I'm going to type in my equation, 1 over 2x, second graph, and I got to find all these now. So I need 19, and I'm only at negative 8. So I got to go way the heck up here. I'll get there eventually. 19, look at that. Negative 28. Okay, now I want to look at 15. It's not too far away. negative 20, negative 3. Oh man, I need to way back down. You could hold, but that's okay. Oh, almost there. Negative 3, 16, and negative 12. Oh my goodness. Okay, 34. And we're done. See, that wasn't that bad, right? I hope that wasn't blurry. I wasn't paying much attention. Anyways, so yeah, I use this. I just go find my y values on the right and write the numbers on the left that match. And I'm done. All right, this is the end of this page, so that is the end of this video.